Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the Big D Coin Channel. This is DC from DC Coin, doing another video for Big D. And this is the 1970 United States quarter. You see, if we look over here on the left, we have the D for the Denver Mint. And over here on the right, we have the blank. And of course, that's for the Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark for Philadelphia in 1970 on the coins. And of course, some of you remember that they didn't have mint marks at all in 1965, 1966, and 1967. And then in 1968, they brought them back. But they didn't bring a Philadelphia one back because there wasn't one. So blank was still Philly in 1968. And then there was a D. And then, of course, in 1968, they brought in the proof sets. And the proof set of 1968 was 1968S proof set. Now they had special mint sets before for these coins, but in 1968 they actually brought this San Francisco Mint in and started putting an S on. And so we're going to take a little while talking about these coins today in the 1970. But first I wanted to show you what just came out, and some of you may be pretty excited about this. This is the 2021 United States quarter, and people have been waiting for this for a long time. In 1999, they moved away from the Washington quarter, which we see here in the 1970 version right here. So this was the front of the quarter from 1932 until 1998. And in 1998, they made the last of these, and they moved on to the William Cousins and John Flanagan designed United States state quarters. And you see the JFWC there. And they figured initially they were just going to make 50 state quarters and then go back to this design. But then they made 50 state quarters, and then they made the territories, and then they switched over to the America the Beautiful quarters. And the America the Beautiful quarters, pretty similar. Oh, let me show you the back of the 50 state quarters to show you the difference, of course. And of course, when they made the original quarters, it was the eagle on the back. When they went to the 50 state quarters, they put the state on the back. And then they moved to the America the Beautiful quarters and some of the American Attraction quarters. And then so this is one of those where they actually had a back. Everyone was different. And again, this is the Philadelphia Mint, but those had the P on them, which is kind of cool. And then they moved they finally finished those with the, let me see if we can find one of those here, the Tuskegee Airmen one in 2021. So this year was the last, or 2021, it's almost 2022, was the last of the quarters with the without the old reverse on them. And then they decided in 2021 they were going to go back. And here's the first of them. This is the Philadelphia Mint. It says Liberty at the top, and God We Trust in front of Washington in 2021. So remember, so look at the differences here. So here's the P. There's the In God We Trust instead of under his chin like it was in the old days, and what it is back again. Liberty at the top instead of liberty under his chin. United States of America on the front, $quarter. And they've switched it back over. And look at this. United States of America, E pluribus unum, $quarter at the bottom. But this is the crossing the Delaware $quarter. And this is what the new design is going to be. So we won't have states or territories or Tuskegee Airmen or America the Beautiful anymore. We're going to go full-time from this to the states in America the Beautiful to this. This is going to be our full-time reverse of the quarter from now on. Washington crossing the Delaware. When you look at these particular coins, you see that there are two different engravers' initials here. And see, we have a BS over here, and hopefully you can see that, and an MG over here. This is Michael Guadioso. I said it wrong before, but Michael Guadioso. And over here is BS, or Benjamin Sowards. So the two of them designed the new reverse of the quarter, and it won't be this anymore, and it won't be any states or anything else anymore. It'll just be all of these. Washington crossing the Delaware is going to be on the back standard of the U.S. quarter. And when we look at these quarters, we see that there's a plane and a Denver. And so one of the things that people are very interested in is how many did they make in each place. And so the plain Philly right here, they made 136.5 million of them, 136.42 million. The Denver Mint, on the other hand, they made 417.3 million. So almost 3 times, well, a little bit over 3 times as many of the Denvers as they did of the Phillies. And one of the things you'll see on many of these Denvers is they I don't know whether they rushed them or they just did so many, but the stamping of the mint mark on the Denvers from the 1970 are almost all going to be, they're going to be in different places. They're going to be flattened, they're going to be small, they're going to be big. They are just different Ds. So if you look for the Ds and look for all the different Ds you can find in 1970 U.S. quarters. So they also made, as I said, the S quarter, and that was a proof, and they made 2.6 million of those. So the S quarter uncirculated is worth about $1.51. The Denver quarter uncirculated is worth about $1.01, and the Philadelphia quarter uncirculated is worth about $1. Not much more than that, even uncirculated, unless you get up to the MS 67 and 68 levels, at which they become much more expensive. So here's our old 1970. Here's our new 2021. And good luck to the old new image. Oh, one of the other things I should show you is that they've gone back to just the JF on the bottom. So JF on the bottom for John Flanagan. JF, let me see if we can find JF on the bottom of one of these for John Flanagan. There's a little tiny bit of it right there. It's kind of wobbly. Right there is a John Flanagan. So that was the original design. When they went to the state quarters, William Cousins helped design them, so they put the JF in the WC for William Cousins. Then when they went to the national parks and other monuments kind of quarters, they went back to just the JF again. This is the Tuskegee Airmen, and that's what they've kept on the 2021. So just JF, same quarter, looking quarter. Of course, this one's a little shinier because it probably came out within the last month or so from the Philadelphia Mint. Don't know how many they're going to make of these yet, but we'll give you the numbers when we get them. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, and we'd love to have you subscribe to our channels. And thanks again for watching the Big D Coin Channel.